What's up, guys? Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at another gadget once again from Fifine Technology. That's out of focus. Boom, focus, focus. Close up coming soon. This one's a little bit different than what we got sent last time. This is the Fifine wired USB lavalier microphone that you could plug directly in to any device that accepts USB, but more likely than not will be your laptop, your computer, or anything of that sort. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick unboxing, talk about the contents of it. I'm in a different location, obviously, as you can see, but we're just gonna go ahead and ignore that, roll with the punches, and get this video going. Okay, so here we have the Fifine Technology box that we're used to. You know, more or less, we're already used to this. It's all white, and then the Fifine logo right there. Represent, gotta represent your logo. So pretty straightforward box, nothing crazy there. Little baby knife. Really sharp though. And it just slides out. Let's make sure we get this on camera. Just slides out. I love that. I love it when boxes do that. Here we got the user manual. Yeah. You know, user guide, all that jazz. Put that over here. And bam! Right there. Pretty straightforward. So we got the cord just sort of raveled up right here. So here we got our actual lavalier piece with a filter on it, so that's good. And then it comes with a clip to obviously clip onto your shirt, collar, tie, whatever. And then the actual part that literally looks like a USB stick, like an actual flash drive. Okay, so to go ahead and actually test this, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a basic microphone recording with QuickTime on my laptop, and we're gonna do one without the actual Fifine lavalier microphone and just the microphone that's inside the Mac. After that, we're gonna go ahead and then swap it pretty much. So some limitations to this, obviously right off the bat, as you can see, are it's USB type A. So if you have a newer laptop, a newer MacBook Pro specifically, you're only going to have USB type C on there. Luckily, one of the videos that I did a while ago, if you have a USB hub that is USB-C and then it gives you a bunch of whole different connections, you could just simply plug that in, then plug this guy in. So it's sort of a workaround. It's not maybe the most ideal for some, but that is a possibility. So keep that in mind. We're gonna go ahead and show this close up right here. This is obviously just looks like a USB stick. Plug it in. Now notice that I have a Thunderbolt already plugged in. That's for my monitor right here. And then I got my two USB slots. One thing about this design specifically is that it's thick. It's a thick design. It's pretty wide, and that's gonna probably not allow you to plug too many things in while using this guy, because it'll take up a lot of space. A workaround with that is obviously you using some sort of a USB hub. But aside from that, let's actually hear how this guy sounds. So we will plug it in there in a second, but let's first go ahead and do a recording without it, just so we could go ahead and test the recordings. Okay, so this is the audio directly from my MacBook Pro webcam internal microphone. Nothing fancy here. This is the This is the actual audio coming from my Rode Microphone Pro that's plugged in to my Lumix G7. So once again, audio from the laptop, audio from Lumix G7 with Rode Video Mic Pro. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, 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 hello. How's it sound? Does it sound good? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. How's it sound? Does it sound good? All right. Is that enough? Is that enough? Do you get what's going on here? You feel that? Does it sound cool? Better? Worse? Okay. Let's plug this in and actually see the difference that we get. A few interesting notes here. These grooves right here. Actually, another important note. Is that I actually had to go ahead and completely unplug my Thunderbolt and my hard drive because there just wasn't any space. This guy's just too big. So I did have to unplug that in order to make way for this. Either work around it with a hub or just keep that in mind when you're using it. But right here, pay attention. So right now I want you to focus. We got, for microphone, we have line in, internal mic, and then Zoom audio device, which is just a Zoom recording app that I have downloaded to my computer. Keep focused. Remember those three. There's only 3 options right now. So I plug this guy in. Goes ahead, lights up blue, and boom. We went from having 3 options to having 4 options now. Now we have this USB PNP audio device. I'm not sure what PNP means, but that's obviously the wired lavalier coming into play there and providing us a different option. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we actually want to click that. Not entirely sure about if you were to be recording sort of like via Skype or FaceTime or whatnot, but at least on QuickTime, if you were to like record a movie, selfie style, Numa Yay style, you would want to make sure that you actually switch that microphone to being the one that's actually plugged in. But we're gonna go ahead and test it now. Give it a try. It's probably not the best spot. Maybe this side. That's like closer to my throat. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. So it looks like I could see the audio feed picking up on my laptop. It's showing that it's definitely picking up the audio. I imagine it'll sound louder if I go ahead and do something like this. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a bigger feed, but I don't want to be talking like this the whole time. If you're using something like this, you probably want to be just like this, nice and irregular, sort of sitting up position, and seeing how it plays out. So this would be my voice. Once again, this is now with the Fifine wired lavalier microphone USB, and then this is with my Lumix G7 and Rode Video Mic Pro. So Rode Video Mic Pro on my on my Lumix G7, and now boom, audio once again with the microphone. So Fifine, Rode, Fifine, Rode, Fifine, Rode. How do I sound? Do I sound good? Do I sound crispy? Are you noticing a difference? Good thing about this is, well, there's obviously the limitations of it not being wireless like how we're used to from the first video that I did with this. We actually get a decent sized cord here, so you can go ahead and give yourself some distance from your laptop if you want to be speaking over here for some reason, or all the way over here, or all the way over here. Just going ahead and changing it up and bring it back in. Then you can go ahead and do that as well. Some of the things that I think that this microphone would actually be used for. I don't imagine that this microphone would be used like on anything else really other than a laptop or computer, desktop. People still have desktops. And the reason for that being, I see a lot of people, whether they're in a Starbucks, a Collectivo, some sort of co-working space, I see a lot of people that may be working remote, working from outside of the office, and they're in this environment, and they're usually using their Apple headphones, which are obviously very convenient. Comes with like every single Apple phone device, more or less. So if I'm going to illustrate with this as my example real quick, they're talking like this, like, hey Jim, can you hear me? All right, so we gotta yada 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 and make that sale and whatever. Okay, the point is that There's a lot of background noise, especially at a Starbucks. You got the baristas making like the coffee, got a bunch of people walking around. This might provide an opportunity to use something different than that microphone. Use something that's closer to you, that's maybe a little better quality, etc. Still haven't heard it, so that's obviously something I gotta do. I gotta listen to a playback real quick. So when you go ahead and have a microphone that is farther away and it can't really pick up audio, or the subject's talking in a very, very low manner, one of the things that a mixer could do is increase the gain, and that's sort of, if you're to draw like an equivalent to video or photos, it's like increasing your ISO. So increasing your ISO will give you more exposure, and increasing your gain will give you more volume. And the only issue with both is that if you push your ISO way too high, your pictures start to get pixelated, and look, there's a bunch of dots that show up and it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as it possibly could be. Like, same thing with gain. Imagine if you could see the pixels that you like, the pixelation that you see. Imagine if you could like hear that. It's almost like, and it's very faint, and it's not like super apparent in the microphone of my Mac, but it's still there. It's still in the background. You can like kind of hear that the voice is being enhanced digitally. Hello, webcam. Okay, so this is the audio directly from my MacBook Pro so that it sounds louder. And that's because the internal microphone is inside the MacBook Pro. It's obviously further away from my mouth. As I got closer to it, it would probably sound better, more crisp. It would probably peak at a certain extent also because it's super sensitive. With this microphone specifically, because it's right here, because it's so close, it has better quality. It's picking up your voice. It's within inches of your voice as opposed to maybe a foot or 2 feet, 2.5 feet from your computer. And aside from that, it's just like an actual microphone too. It's not an internal mic, it's exterior. We have the filter on it, and I noticed absolutely zero sort of like hissing in the background. It sounded pretty crisp, so I was kind of surprised. So all in all, that is pretty much the review, the actual use of everything for the lavalier USB microphone from Fifine. So boom, there it is. Just to start with things, I've mentioned this in the past, how using manual film lenses, they're cheaper and older, but they give you an idea of different focal lengths. And I mentioned it with the wireless microphone, how it's cheaper, it's a cheaper option. You're not getting, you're not paying the Sennheiser prices, but you're getting Sennheiser like concepts and ideas and methods to go ahead and test and begin your video career, begin recording audio and seeing how you would actually use it in a practical setting and stuff like that. And I think that this sort of provides an opportunity just like that too. But all in all, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I actually did enjoy this one at 2 for 2. I've enjoyed both devices 2 for 2 right now. All in all, let me know down in the comments below if you're interested in checking this out. I'll leave it linked in the description. Once again, my name is Ortiz and I live in Chicago, the greatest city in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.